Competition. It means different things to different people. But whether it's a friendly rivalry or a fight to the death,
cheers,
the end result is the same. There will be winners, and there will be losers. Of course, the trick is to know which battles to fight. You see, no victory comes without a price. There is a widely read book that tells us everyone is a sinner. Of course, not everyone feels guilt over the bad things they do. In contrast, there are those who assume more than their share of the blame. There are others who soothe their consciences with small acts of kindness. Or by telling themselves their sins were justified. Finally, there are the ones who simply vow to do better next time and pray for forgiveness. Sometimes their prayers are answered. Trust is a fragile thing.
Hi guys.
Once earned, it affords us tremendous freedom. But once trust is lost, it can be impossible to recover. Of course, the truth is, we never know who we can trust. Those we're closest to can betray us.
Police, open up!
And total strangers can come to our rescue. In the end, most people decide to trust only themselves. It really is the simplest way to keep from getting burned. It's impossible to grasp just how powerful love is. It can sustain us through trying times, or motivate us to make extraordinary sacrifices. It can force decent men to commit the darkest deeds, or compel ordinary women to search for hidden truths. And long after we're gone, love remains, burned into our memories. We all search for love, but some of us, after we found it, wish we hadn't. Yes, each new day in suburbia brings with it a new set of lies. The worst are the ones we tell ourselves before we fall asleep. We whisper them in the dark, telling ourselves we're happy, or that he's happy, that we can change, or that he will change his mind. We persuade ourselves we can live with our sins. we can live without him. Yes, each night before we fall asleep, we lie to ourselves in the desperate, desperate hope that come morning, it will all be true. It's an odd thing to look back on the world, to watch those I left behind, each in her own way so brave, so determined, and so very desperate. Desperate to venture out, but afraid of what she'll miss when she goes. Desperate to get everything she wants, even when she's not exactly sure of what that is. Desperate for life to be perfect again, although she realizes it never really was. Desperate for a better future if she can find a way to escape her past. I not only watch, I cheer them on, these amazing women. I hope so much they'll find what they're looking for. But I know not all of them will. Sadly, that's just not the way life works. Not everyone gets a happy ending. Everyone in the world needs someone they can depend on. Be they faithful friends, determined advocates, or a loving family. But occasionally in life, the people we thought would always be there for us leave. And if that happens, it's amazing the lengths we'll go to get them back. Every little girl dreams of a big white wedding, but some dreams just don't come true. Yes, cameras are tools designed to capture images. Wait.
Oh, she needs me to get something for her. I will be right back.
But in truth, they can capture so much more. They can uncover hidden longing of men who should no longer care. They can reveal the extraordinary secrets of the most ordinary marriages. Most amazing of all, cameras can quietly and clearly reveal to us our dreams. Dreams we didn't even know we had. It's not always that easy to distinguish the good guys from the bad guys. Sinners can surprise you. And the same is true for saints. Why do we try to define people as simply good or simply evil? Because no one wants to admit that compassion and cruelty can live side by side in one heart. And that anyone is capable of anything. The stories are as old as time itself. The prodigal son who returns home to the father who forgives him. The jealous wife who tricks the husband who trusts her. The desperate mother who risks everything for the child who needs her. And the faithless husband who hurts the wife who loves him so deeply. Why do we listen again and again? Because these are the stories of family. And once we look past the fighting, pain, and the resentment, we occasionally like to remind ourselves there is absolutely nothing more important.
Bunny.
We've all done something in our lives we're ashamed of. Some of us have fallen for the wrong man. Some have let go of the right woman. There are those who have humiliated their parents, and those who have failed their children. Yes, we've all made mistakes that diminish us and those we love. But there is redemption if we try to learn from those mistakes and grow. There is a prayer intended to give strength to people faced with circumstances they don't want to accept. The power of the prayer comes from its insight into human nature.
We ask God to grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change.
Because so many of us rage against the hand that life has dealt us.
The courage to change the things we can.
Because so many of us are cowardly and afraid to stand up for what is right.
And the wisdom to know the difference.
Because so many of us give in to despair when faced with an impossible choice. The good news for those who utter these words is that God will hear you and answer your prayer. The bad news is that sometimes the answer is no. When the truth is ugly, people try to keep it hidden because they know if revealed, the damage it will do. So they conceal it within sturdy walls, or they place it behind closed doors, or they obscure it with clever disguises. But truth, no matter how ugly, always emerges. And someone we care about always ends up getting hurt. And someone else will revel in their pain. And that's the ugliest truth of all. This is the street where I used to live. And these were the people with whom I shared my life. I met them the day they moved in. And I saw what they brought with them. Beautiful dreams for the future. And quiet hopes for a better life. Not just for themselves, but for their children too. If I could, would I tell them what lies ahead? Would I warn them of the sorrow and betrayal that lie in store? No. From where I stand now, I see enough of the road to understand how it must be traveled. The trick is to keep moving forward, to let go of the fear and the regret that slow us down and keep us from enjoying a journey that will be over too soon. Yes, there will be unexpected bends in the road. Shocking surprises we didn't see coming. But that's really the point. Don't you think?
Orson.
Hey.
Have you met the perfect couple? The two soulmates whose love never dies. The two lovers whose relationship is never threatened. The husband and wife who trust each other completely. If you haven't met the perfect couple, let me introduce you. They stand atop a layer of buttercream frosting. The secret of their success? Well, for starters, they don't have to look at each other.
No, you're not. I can tell. Please, tell me what's wrong. Let me save you. You can't. Why not? Sweetie, we can't prevent what we can't predict. Isn't there anything I could do? Yes. Yes. You can enjoy this beautiful day. We get so few of them.
This was the last time Lynette would ever dream of me. And for her sake, I am grateful. Gossip. It's just a harmless form of recreation. It's careless talk that deals in polite fiction.
I'd love to be assistant manager, but apparently you have to flirt with Mrs. Scavo to get that job.
It's nasty speculation that's based on not so polite fact.
He may be dating Edie. Everyone can see he's still in love with Gabby.
How do we protect ourselves from the venomous sting of such idle gossip?
Are you the lady who kept her husband in her freezer?
The best way is to just tell the truth.
Yep, that's me. Scary, aren't I?
And wait for people to start talking about someone else. Family. There is nothing more important. They're the ones who show up when we're in trouble. The ones who push us to succeed. The ones who help keep our secrets. But what of those who have no family to rely on? What happens to those poor souls who have no loved ones to help them in their hour of need? Well, most learn to walk life's road by themselves. But a sad few of us simply stop trying.
1, 2, 3. Cheese!
There is nothing more deceptive than a smile. And no one knows this better than the people who hide behind them. Some flash their teeth as a polite warning to their enemies. Some put on beaming faces to keep their tears from falling. Others wear silly grins to mask their fear. But then there is that rare smile that is actually genuine.
I'll take care of it.
It's the smile of a person who knows his troubles will soon be over. Pests, They come in all shapes and sizes and disrupt our lives in a variety of ways. At first, they're merely annoying, and we do our best to ignore them. But if we don't take them seriously, they can become quite dangerous. For some, death seems to be the easiest solution. But the problem with pests is that what they leave behind is just as dangerous. It's the same for all of us. We try not to get too close to the people who live next door. It's easier to give them a polite nod than to ask what's wrong. It's safer to keep walking by than to get involved. True, we sometimes do get to know the people we share a fence with and end up lifelong friends. But mostly, we keep our distance because we'd rather our neighbors know nothing about us. Than know too much. It was supposed to be a beautiful day. But then the winds came and changed everything. And not just the houses and the lawns.
Oh my God.
The people had changed too. While the storm had raged, each of them had learned something. About friendship. And forgiveness. And redemption. And some had learned the hardest lesson of all. That life is always fragile and very often unfair. Blindness. It's an affliction that prevents people from seeing what is right in front of them. Like the wives who can't detect the jealousy that consumes their husbands. The women unable to see that a rival might also be a friend. The men who stay oblivious to the guilt that lies deep within them. Yes, the world is filled with those who cannot see. The most dangerous are the ones who stay blind to the evil within their own hearts. How do we protect ourselves from these people? First, we have to open our own eyes and find them before they find us. The truth is, everyone breaks the rules now and then. Never thinking for 1 second they might get caught.
Something just disappeared. I think that happens really.
But if they do, they simply ask for forgiveness. And most of the time, they receive it. But But some acts are so wicked they demand only our condemnation. How do people avoid such a fate? Well, the trick is knowing which rules are made to be broken and which rules are not. Yes, everyone appreciates a good neighbor. You know, the kind that helps you with the groceries, but doesn't ask, why is your son so moody? The type that delivers misplaced mail, but doesn't point out your wife seems discontented. The sort that offers to mow your lawn, but doesn't mention your husband seems cold. But if you're not sure the man next door is as nice as he would have you believe,
Now, why would you bring me flowers?
Because you got a computer, and I need to find out some stuff about Edie's husband.
do everything you can to get to know him better. Everyone needs a lovely home in suburbia, mostly so the neighbors will never suspect what's going on inside. Behind these freshly painted walls you will find parents racked with guilt, wives tired of struggling, lovers who have been lied to. Yes, everybody needs a lovely home in suburbia. If for no other reason than to have a place to come home to. You should never be too impressed by people with good manners. They're the ones who will give a friendly wave, even when they've stolen from you. They're the type to sweetly welcome you, even as they try to uncover your secrets. They're the kind to offer you coffee, even as they report you to the police. And don't be too offended by someone who's openly rude, because they may be that way for the nicest of reasons. On this street, the day begins with a cup of coffee. Some drink it while recalling a lover they once cared for. Some pour it thinking of the boss they must lie to. Others sip it, contemplating a man they might be in love with. But for one woman on this particular morning, that cup of coffee has to wait. Because she discovers a neighbor in trouble. She goes to help, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because it's the only way she can think of to ask for forgiveness. And once it is given, the day begins. There are so many rules in this world. That's why we must start learning them while we are still children. We are told very clearly, don't say bad words. You're not allowed to cheat on tests. It's not nice to lie to your friends. You shouldn't covet a man who isn't yours. and you shouldn't betray a man who is. So we grow up and still we break the rules, completely forgetting that if someone catches us, we will be punished.
Hi there.
The funeral for Carl Meyer was a dignified affair, attended by friends and family, and those who loved him. The priest spoke about the nature of tragedy, how it causes people to ask, what if? What if he hadn't died? What if I had chosen differently? What if I had made that mistake? And then the priest said the best way to honor those who had died was to focus on what was and to keep on living the best way we know how. And in time, that is exactly what my friends would do. Seduction is an art. Subtle methods of coercion are used to sway the susceptible. And those who are determined will take their time to get what they want. And when the seduction is successful, those who succumbed ask themselves, was I seduced? Or was this what I wanted all along? There is a house in the town of Fairview. Inside this house lives a monster, the kind who kills women. You may wonder how a monster like that came to be. The answer is simple. Monsters are created by other monsters. Happiness. It's something everyone searches for. Some are sure they'll find it once they've moved back home. Some think they'll find it by making a new friend. Some hope to find it once they've defeated the competition. Then there are those who stop searching for happiness because they look up one day to discover it was right there in front of them all the time. It's a question we all ask ourselves. Do I trust the people who live next door? Will that couple across the street be there when I need them? Can I count on the woman who lives down the block? Yes, good neighbors are people we can rely on. But if we discover our neighbors can't be trusted, then it may be time to move. The world is filled with people who do ugly things. Why do they act this way? Some lie to keep from losing what they love. Some lash out because they fear the future. Some put up walls because they have regrets. Yes, everyone has a reason for the ugly things they do. And once we find out why, then we can try to stop them. There comes a moment when our lives change forever. The moment we admit our weaknesses. The moment we rise to a challenge. The moment we accept a sacrifice. or let a loved one go. And sometimes, the change in our lives is an answer to our prayers.
Stillman.
A sense of security. It's something we all search for. Whether it's knowing we're desired, taking control of our fears, or finding the strength to do the right thing. But the danger of a sense of security is that it may prove to be false.
Oh!
Yes, in the divided world of the suburbs, everyone is looking for some way to make a connection. Some seek to connect by focusing on a greater good. Some by revealing a common history. Some by sharing a pain no one else can heal. Then there are those who once sought to make a connection that they now want desperately to escape. Yes, we're all seeking control over something in our lives. We may want to cover up the remains of a troubling secret. Or ease the pain of letting go. Or erase the mistakes of our children. But sometimes, the only way we can truly change our lives
Finally.
is by letting go completely, no matter what the cost. It's a lonely business keeping secrets. That's why we all search for someone we can confide in. An ally who will understand. An advisor we can trust. A friend who will never judge. Yes, we all need help hiding the darkest truths of our lives. Because as soon as you've told one secret, another is likely to appear. Yes, good friends are the ones who tell us the truth about ourselves.
Look at you. You're a bad girl.
Even when the truth might be something we're reluctant to admit. That we still have a great deal to learn. That we sometimes need to ask for help. That we may be overlooking a golden opportunity. Yes, hearing the truth can often set us on a different path.
Hey there. Can I buy you another drink?
But we never know
You can buy me breakfast.
where that path might take us. Or who might be watching. Yes, in the life of every housewife, there comes a time for renovation. she may be doing away with an unpleasant memory. Breaking up a once happy relationship. Or making the necessary changes to prepare for a new one. But no matter how much a housewife may embrace the way her life is changing, the people in her neighborhood may take a different view. Yes, as much as death takes from us, it also gives. It teaches us what's truly important. Like giving back after a lifetime of taking. Going after something we never should have let go of. Or looking back on what made us who we are. But sometimes the lessons learned after a person's death aren't the ones we expected.
Forensic says the prints in the mug match the prints we found on the dead guy.
Yes, in life, when we see an opportunity, we have to take it. Whether it's the hope of winning back the love of our life, a shot at proving our worth, or the chance to show a child the right path. But sometimes when we answer the call,
Hello?
Hi, it's Bree.
we have no idea what opportunity awaits us.
Renee just told me the good news.
Yes, recent events in the lives of my friends had stirred up intense emotions. Excitement about starting a new chapter. Guilt over causing another's pain. Disappointment in a failure to change. Then there are those who are asked to put all emotion aside in order to make a cold-hearted decision.
Gabby.
As Susan left her driveway, she had a feeling she was being watched. And she was. The ghosts of people who had been a part of Wisteria Lane were gazing upon her as she passed. They watched her as they watch everyone, always hoping the living could learn to put aside rage and sorrow, bitterness and regret. These ghosts watch, wanting people to remember that even the most desperate life is oh so wonderful. But only a lucky few realize the gift they've been given. Most people just go on day after day, trying in vain to keep secrets that will never stay hidden.